want to welcome you to this platform. My name is Mike. I quickly want to share with us a very important information regarding the elections that go on in Nigeria. As you have noticed, if you're a Nigerian or other African national, you see that most of the time, prior to the elections in Nigeria, presidential election in particular, the presidential aspirants, especially from the party, from the dominant party of PDP and etc., and the Labour Party, find it important and necessary to travel to Western countries like United States and London to do interviews and to grant some talk shows. Have you ever wondered why that is important and why that is? I'm sure you haven't. But recently, most press conference, most of our journalists have actually been questioning the rationale behind this type of movement, especially prior to election, during the election period. Do you know why that is? It's because most of our presidents, most presidents in Africa and head of states are actually handpicked by the imperialist Western governments, by the United States, in particular, and also France for the other French-speaking countries in Africa. They have picked them and even formed the campaign for their elections to put them in the power. And the point of that is so that they can also partially serve their interest, the interest of America and of France and other imperialist power once they get elected. This is a fact. This is a fact that most of our political leaders, especially the presidents, they kind of still remain a puppet for the Western government to use to serve their interest and promote their interest in Africa. And it has been going on for so long, and we call this situation or scenario the neo-colonial movement. The imperialist government have left, but they still have their representative in all the structure, the political structures across the African political systems and government working in the interest of the West. We have them also, it applies to all the countries in Africa, particularly in the West and East of Africa. Those countries, the French-speaking countries, and also the English-speaking countries of Africa. It's a shame that our political leaders are actually the architects of the underdevelopment and so many situations happening. But like I always say, it's not fair logical to blame all of the situations in Africa solely on the imperialist power. Of course, as you can see that they have their representatives among the political leaders in our governments. And so we can therefore blame our leaders for most of the things happening in our country. As rich as Africa is with mineral resources and with a lot of young populations, which represents which could be a large pool of skills and competence that requires industries that can actually drive industrializations and developments, but yet the country haven't been really developing on the pace, on the fast pace that it should be. Why? Because of this mixed management that is going on. I just wanted to draw this to our attention to let them know that most of the reason, the fundamental reason behind these presidential aspirant granting press conferences and interview in other countries outside of Africa is actually merely because they are actually handpicked by the imperialist government serve also partially their interests once they get elected. You can see that happen with Tinubu in particular. You remember the presidential elections in Nigeria in 2015. President Goodluck Jonathan, the incumbent president at the time, actually lost the election. You remember that the United States actually interfered in our election, and even the former president, Goodluck Jonathan, the incumbent president at the time, actually also has blamed Barack Obama for interfering in the elections, and was also that was critical to the reason he lost the election. So there is a lot of facts, there's a lot of evidence that our political leaders have external influence. There is a lot of imperialist influence from the West into our local and national elections. This is the information I quickly wanted to share with us, and make sure that you open your eyes, know what is going on, and play your own personal role as a Nigerian or African, a patriotic African and Nigerian to bridge the gap. Thank you very much. Goodbye for now.